everybody, welcome to Poly Games. I'm your host Joseph, and let's start our pre-E3 talk with one question. What does Microsoft have to do to get you on board with the Xbox platform? What does Microsoft have to do to get you either on an Xbox One S or, a bigger question, an Xbox Scorpio? I don't want to act like I'm throwing predictions out there. Predictions kind of makes it seem like I'm a clairvoyant, I have a crystal ball, and I know everything. It sets the expectations to me a little bit too high. But these are things that I would like to see from Microsoft, from Phil Spencer, to kind of have a leveled expectations walking into E3. And this E3, to kind of set the stage, is the most important E3 Microsoft has ever done. Because they're going to try to do two big things. A, change the narrative about the Xbox brand, while B, trying to sell you on a new piece of hardware. Whether Microsoft wants to admit it or not, or Phil Spencer saying that he expects to sell more Xbox One S's than Scorpios, the Scorpio is going to be an important tool to get Microsoft competitive with the Sony PlayStation 4 and 4 Pro. Not to say that Microsoft is doing bad this generation, but they're just not being competitive enough with the Sony brand. First, there's one thing I would like to see from them, first and foremost, and that is them coming out to say all the great things that the Xbox brand has done over the years, and that is, whether it's backwards compatibility, Game Pass, family share, digital returns, and then also throw in there that you're able to change your name. Make sure that people are aware that you're making steps into that digital future, making yourself more consumer friendly, doing things that your competition isn't doing. Make sure your people are aware about digital returns and Game Pass, because those ideas are really exciting, especially for the future, what gaming has to offer us. The second thing, and this is actually the most important thing, and this is the hardest one to kind of describe to you guys, is that Microsoft needs a roadmap. Microsoft has never really had a roadmap. And when I talk about roadmap, I'm talking about games that we know are coming out in 2017, early 2018, late 2018, and maybe even 2019. Let us know that you are going to support this platform for the years to come. Sony does a great job at offering you and showing you what the roadmap has to offer, right? They show you what games are going to come out late 2016, early 2017, and now we kind of have an idea what's on the horizon for late 2017 and early 2018. They have a great job at that, right? They showed us Nier, they showed us Horizon, they showed us Neo, they showed us all these games, and they have come out. And Microsoft still yet has to deliver on that promise. So what Microsoft needs to do is show us the games. And the one cool thing, and might worry some, is that there is no Halo here. There is no Gears of War. There probably is a Forza, but, Microsoft has already come out to say that don't expect the Master Chief to be here. And that's awesome to me, because that means Microsoft is not fucking around. They're not resting on their laurels. They're not resting on old IP to sell them systems. This means that you see and you have a feeling that they're going to be making deals with AA, AAA studios to make sure that they are going to be pumping out games and pumping out exclusives. Phil Spencer a few weeks ago, and I'm paraphrasing here, he understands where they are in the exclusive front, on the titles front, and that he's made investments to combat that. So what that's telling me is that Microsoft has a slew of titles that they have been holding off for this moment, for this E3. Why the Xbox brand looks so barren at this very moment, why only Halo Wars has come out as a main exclusive, well, I think that's because Microsoft is holding a lot of these games close to the chest. With the new reveal of Phantom Dust being free on the Xbox One, at least for a limited time, tells to me that we can expect something of Phantom Dust to return at E3. We can maybe expect, hopefully, a Fable, some type of RPG to close in the franchise, and then show us things and show us games that we've never seen before to get us excited about the brand. And most importantly, since Crackdown is going to be a main game this holiday season, give us a good reason as to why we're buying this. The most important thing for the Scorpio is that there is software at launch or near launch that is a reason to buy this system. And to finish up the talk about games, I know it's so weird that we're almost days away from E3 and we know very little in terms of rumors or speculation of what's coming out this E3 for Microsoft. But what I really want is something more than just a reboot of Fable or Phantom Dust. What I would really love is something we haven't seen yet. Something that's going to take us by surprise. Something like how Horizon took me by surprise 2 years ago. I want the same for Microsoft because I want Microsoft to do great and to do gangbusters this E3. And with that, the only hard prediction and the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Scorpio's price, because everybody talks about it. And to me, this console cannot be $700. That'd be fucking outrageous. Can't be $600. To me, it has to be the sweet spot would be $499, a $500 price point here in America. The reason why, to me, it has to be $500 is when we look at consoles that are genuinely super expensive, they don't sell that well. When we take a look at, like, the PlayStation 3 is a great example, being launched at $600 to $500, that console, it was hard to get it off the shelves because it was just too expensive. It took Sony multiple, revisions to get that at a price point that was affordable for most people. So what Microsoft has to do is compromise between power and price and get it in that $499 price range. So we know that the PlayStation 4 Pro, this console, the Scorpio, is going to run laps around it, but it also has to be competitive near its price point, because if you're priced too high, then people are going to look at the PlayStation 4 Pro going, $400, I mean, it's not true 4K, but it'll get me somewhere. In terms of if the Xbox Scorpio is $600, $700, people are going to vote at that point with their wallet. So make it competitive and make it a compelling reason as to why the console is that price. Learn from your mistakes with the Xbox One when you launched it with the Kinect. You didn't have a compelling reason as to why it needed to be $500, other than, well, you guys bought the Kinect the first time around, you might as well buy it the second time around, right? Because the games are so awesome, right? So that's what I would like to see from Microsoft. These aren't huge predictions of grand scale, because my mission here is to have everybody's expectations leveled and realistic. I want Microsoft to talk about, A, what they've done to earn your trust again, to show you and to change the narrative that they are pro-consumer. B, I want them to show games we have never seen before. I'm sick of franchises. I'm sick of seeing the same thing all over again, which I feel like they got the feeling with Halo 5 and Gears of War 4. Do something different. And lastly, the price of the Scorpio needs to be competitive, but also at the same time premium. So those are the things that would get me on board with the Xbox brand. And that would be, to me, the way that they do change the narrative and also launch this awesome piece of hardware at the same exact time. But the one thing I do want to mention is that it's not all smooth sailing from here. Please remember that this holiday season, Sony is going to have games that are going to be advertised like they're exclusives. And the three biggest ones, they have Destiny, they have Call of Duty, and they have Battlefront. So Microsoft's going to have to do some big crazy moves to make a dent this holiday season, and I feel like they have something up their sleeve. So with all that said, all that out of the way, I'll save that for another video. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked what you saw, please hit subscribe, like, share. There's also a bell thing that notifies you. I really hate talking about that bell, but people seem to fucking love that bell. So click on it, all that jazz. Everybody, keep your wits about you and have a great one.